Y'all, I wouldn't drink buttermilk if you gave me $100 bill, but I will drink it in ranch dressing and buttermilk pie. That's the recipe I'm going to share with you today. And the first thing we want to do is we're going to use our refrigerated pie crust because they're so good. And I don't know if y'all have ever seen the Paula Deen cutting board like this one, but this is like my favorite. Excuse me, I keep thinking chew gum at the same time. This is my favorite board that I have. Now, what did I do with my
it's over there.
Rolling pin?
On the counter.
It's right here.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. So, on my board, you can see that this makes an 8-inch pie, just like this. And then the line for a 9-inch pie is right there. And our recipe tells us to roll it to 10-inch pie. So we'll have enough to turn under and crimp it. So here we go. We're gonna get that out in that biggest circle. All right, y'all, I've got my crust to a 10-inch round circle. Now I'm gonna put this in my pie plate. And see, this is why I ask for you to roll it out, because that's gonna leave us enough dough to turn this over and make a nice thick crust. So when we cut into that pie, we'll have something to cut into. So just go round and round and tuck your crust in. Then you can make it pretty any way you want to. And you know what? Some of the best pies and cakes ain't pretty. But they take, got a little over ambitious with that one. The hardest thing is getting your dough in there completely perfect, so you'll have that dough about the same amount all the way around. So there you go. Once you get it in there, then you decide, how you want to do it. The fork is definitely the easiest, but sometimes I'll do it just like I'm doing right now. Just take my fingers and pinch it, just like that. All right, so now I am going to fork it. Teresa, would you get me out a piece of parchment paper, please, dear, and my beads? You know where the beads are?
That's correct.
They're over there in the baking center. Thank you. Oops. I didn't realize I was so strong today. Wow. Uh-oh. Wow, I just snatched that puppy right on out. And I don't too much care, because as long as it tastes good, that's all that matters to me. So I'm gonna prick the sides, because there's no way that we can put weights on the sides, so we're just gonna have to rely on. I just got that crust in that pan uneven, Eddie. You see what I did?
One side's a little higher.
But it will be so good.
Buttermilk pie is kind of rustic. That's okay.
Yeah. Buttermilk pie is not one of those fancy smancy desserts. All right. So I'm gonna press those beads down. These are like ceramic, a ceramic bead. Now, when I don't have, there was a time where I didn't have any of this stuff. So I just used dried black-eyed peas to weight it down. And that should be plenty.
Is it going in the oven?
It going in the oven, sister.
So I think we cook it, what, for 15 minutes?
Let's see what my notes say. Preheat oven to 425. That's a pretty hot oven. Bake on lower rack of the oven for 10 minutes. And then we're going to carefully remove the weights. I'll have to bring the pie back in here. And we're going to let it cool on a wire rack for about 15 minutes.
Before we
And
start
leave the oven on. Y'all, Eddie just walked in the kitchen bringing a package that was just delivered to our house from my buddy and Eddie's buddy, Allison Wagner. Hey, darling, how are you? Thank you so much. We talked to Allison the other day, and she said, be on the lookout for a package because I'm sending you and Eddie a little goodie box. If you're not familiar with Wagner's chocolates, her family has been in the chocolate business for 100 years. And their chocolate is so good. So I'm going to munch on the rest of my turtle while I show y'all the ingredients that go inside that pitiful looking pie crust I just put in the oven. Okay. Got a cup and a half of sugar. Melted butter. I'm gonna go ahead and put that in right now. Now let's see, is this this is pumpkin pie spice, right, Teresa?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
These are all for Thanksgiving.
It sounds like Thanksgiving, doesn't it? I think we all just associate pumpkins and
But you said you normally do it with cinnamon, right? So if you didn't want the pumpkin flavor, you could do a cinnamon.
oh yeah, you can substitute, whatever you like. But here's the deal. This spiced buttermilk pie is in my Southern Baking Cookbook. In fact, you can get it right here if you are in the market for a baking book. To me, it is the best baking book. If you're a baker, make a wonderful gift to yourself or to somebody else. But anyway, this one also has a topping on it, where most buttermilk pies, they're just like an egg custard pie, no toppings. But
We're making this fancy.
yeah, I can't wait to show y'all the topping. All right, so now I'm gonna add my flour. Another bite of turtle.
Most important thing.
The recipe calls for half a teaspoon of vanilla flavoring, but I don't think I've ever in my whole life used a half a teaspoon of vanilla. I just love it. Now, whose phone is that? Is that yours, Teresa? Well, tell them we don't want any.
It's the timer.
Oh, we do want some. Now I'm adding my buttermilk. And last but not least, I'm gonna add one more bite. I don't get two out of that one. Allison Wagner, thank you so much. Allison was my first hostess when it was Evine.
Right.
And then they changed the name to Shop HQ.
Shop HQ. Right. And now she is with
The Beekman brothers, right?
Beekman Boys.
Beekman boys. They're not brothers. They're partners. I'm adding my salt. So she does a great job for the Beekman boys. And so I hope you're doing well. I'm fine as frog fair now. Having eaten my turtle. I'm just gonna beat these up a little bit. All right, now I'm gonna have to let my pie crust cool for about 15 minutes.
And I just took it out the oven.
Okay,
and
good.
removed the beads.
Good.
So now it's in
It hasn't got any humps in it, does it? The pie crust.
Now,
Doesn't have any humps or bubbles in the pie crust, does it?
it does not.
And when you remove the beads, y'all, just remember they're hot as a $3 pistol. So you don't want to burn yourself when you're taking out that parchment paper. So 15 minutes. I'll be putting this in. And then I'm going to share the topping with y'all. Look at my kind of pitiful pie crust. But that's all right. That's where I tore it. I'll cover it with filling. All right, so this is our buttermilk filling. And I'm just gonna pour that into our crust. See, it'll almost cover the little ugly spots. You know, that's the thing about food. Kind of like people. You know, if I choose to love you, I just love you warts and all. And that's a wart. I mean, I'm scraping every drop out and make it come up as high as I can. Yum, yum. Okay, Miss Teresa, ma'am.
We're gonna put it in an oven for 20 to 25 minutes. Until set.
Okay. Now, while our buttermilk pie is baking, y'all, I'm going to go ahead and make the topping because this will go into the refrigerator until I'm ready to serve the first slice, and then I'll put a nice fat dollop of this topping on it. Now, to make our topping, I've got 3/4 a cup of heavy whipping cream. I've got 1/4 of a cup of buttermilk. I've got, oh gosh, what was that? 1/4 of a cup of confectionate sugar. A dash of salt. Half a teaspoon of vanilla. And I've got my ground nutmeg. I hadn't seen my fresh nutmeg since we moved, so I don't know where in the heck it got off to.
I have to get
because I love fresh grated nutmeg. It's just wonderful. But I'm going to be using ground on this. All right, now I'm just going to beat these until they're nice and kind of stiff. So you just need to beat your topping ingredients until it forms soft peaks. And then, like I said, we're going to put it on as we serve the pie. I don't want to put this on the whole pie like a meringue. And this will last up to 3 days in the refrigerator. So if it takes you 3 days to eat your buttermilk pie, your topping is good to go. So as I was putting our topping in the refrigerator, I said, I remember using a little more sugar than what the topping calls for. So I decided I'm coming back with it and gonna add a little bit more sugar because that buttermilk gives it a real tart flavor. And I want to make sure the sweet comes through. So I've probably added maybe 3 tablespoons of white granulated sugar to it. And to me, that's perfect for my palate. Where the other way, it was still a little tart. And I remember increasing that sugar on that pie. But there you go. And it's not going to get as stiff as whipped cream. If you were just beating cream and sugar together, you know how it gets so stiff it'll almost turn back to butter. I have beat it where it turned back to butter, and I just added some salt to it and used it as butter. But to me, it's perfect this way. I've stood it as long as I can, y'all, to taste this spiced buttermilk pie. So I can't stand it. It's not completely cooled, but you know, if it spreads out, it's just going to have to spread out. Because there's 3 of us waiting to taste this pie.
And the only one that has patience is Eddie.
Yeah, he is. He's the only one with any patience. All right, here we go. Can't do this. Oh, and I love the way it comes to like a crusty top, you know. Now this is our topping for it, and
It looks like it has a custard base.
I know that's that little nutmeg to go on it. It could stand to get a little bit cooler. Now I certainly wouldn't top this pie with this topping. I would dollop each piece as you cut a piece. And also, the directions tell you for your topping to just put everything in the bowl and beat it. I would recommend, highly recommend, that you beat your heavy cream first until it's firm and then add your other ingredients, because otherwise it's going to be hard to get it stiff. So, I think I do need a fork. It looks so good. I just adore buttermilk pie. Oh, and that topping, it's just kind of different. I just love buttermilk pie. It's delicious, y'all. Y'all got to come cut you a piece. It's so good. And it feels like I need to turn around and see my turkey sitting back there. Because it just tastes like Thanksgiving. I need a moment, y'all. Love and best dishes. Hey, y'all, it's Paula Deen. Now, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like it and click the subscribe button as well as the notification bell to be alerted when I post a video. Love and best dishes, y'all.